Hello everyone. Today I want to talk about a major transformation in financial sector, open banking and consumer data right. On the surface, open banking brings many benefits. For example, it promotes fair competition, encourages financial innovation, and helps consumers control their financial data effectively. This system is based on sharing data while still keeping encryption and authentication standards. However, it also leads to some serious challenges, like how do we ensure consumers' data security? Who is responsible for overseeing compliance? How transparent is the system for consumers? These are critical problems that must be solved so that open banking can truly achieve its purpose. Today, I will talk about these issues in detail and discuss the role of legislation and submit some solutions to create a safer and more transparent open banking environment. Now, let's talk about the challenges of open banking in protecting consumer data rights. As we all know, technology is the backbone of open banking. API security and standardization are two most important problems when it comes to open banking technology. Firstly, consumer data can be acquired from fraud and identify thieves because of weak authentication methods and the outdated security practices. Also, many financial institutions don't use strong encryption, leaving data transformation open to cyber attacks, which means that someone can easily read the data in this process. Thirdly, there aren't any standardized security frameworks, so different banks don't always have the consistent protections. This makes data security very hard to predict. To truly protect consumer data, we need strict, standardized API security policy that apply to all financial institutions. Without them, data security will remain a weak link in open banking. Even though security is a major issue, another key problem is the complexity of regulatory oversight. Multiple agencies are involved in open banking in Australia. For example, the ACCC ensures competition and consumer protection. The APRA regulates financial institutions. The OAIC enforces privacy laws. The ASIC oversees fintech innovation and transparency. With so many regulatory bodies involved, it's easy to see how overlapping responsibilities create inefficiencies. Some institutions delay compliance, while enforcement mechanisms still unclear. At the same time, cross-border data sharing laws are still not fully developed, which adds to some uncertainty. To simplify oversight, we might need a single, dedicated regulatory authority that can efficiently enforce compliance while eliminating bureaucratic delays. Even if we solve security and regulatory challenges, another key issue that needs to be answered: do consumers actually understand how their data is being used? Unfortunately, the answer is often no. Many consumers don't know how banks and other fintechs use their personal information, and when they want to revoke the access, the process is unclear and not easy. To fix this, open banking laws must take some measures, like mandate clear and standardized disclosure on data usage. Also, ensure consumers are timely notified about their data sharing permissions. And introduce user-friendly tools that allow consumers to easily revoke access. Now, let's turn to solutions. How can we solve these challenges while still embracing the benefits of open banking? Here are three key policy recommendations. Firstly, we need stronger security standards. It means governments must set unified API security standards to ensure interoperability and the data is safe. Moreover, encryption and authentication policy should be required by all institutions rather than being left to voluntary compliance. This will create a more security framework, reducing risks of consumers and financial institutions. Secondly, regulatory reform is necessary. A single regulatory body should be set up to oversee open banking and make sure it works smoothly and efficiently. In addition, non-bank fintech platforms should also be subject to address loopholes and keep the competition fair. Without clear oversight, regulatory gaps could undermine consumers' trust and financial stability. Finally, consumer education and transparency must be improved. Financial institutions need to make it easy for people to understand how they use consumer data to help people make better decisions. Furthermore, regular reminders and nudge mechanisms should be introduced to keep consumers aware of their data sharing choices. It's also important that revoking data sharing permissions must be as easy and accessible as getting them. In this way, users always have full control. By implementing these measures, we can create a system that is both secure and consumer-friendly. In conclusion, open banking has the potential to promote the financial industry, but without strong security, clear regulation, and enhanced consumer rights, it could do more harm than good. Therefore, we need to ensure that technological innovation does not come at the cost of consumer protection. By standardizing security practices, simplifying regulations, and guaranteeing transparency, we can build a system where financial innovation thrives while consumer rights remain safeguarded. Thank you, everyone.